has arrived, and the Fox 13 Energy team wants to empower you. Tune in to Fox 13 News and find out how you can help make the Earth a better place.
And now, it's time for the lightning round.
All right, gang, how about the Rays on top of the world, the flying baby, and how to really go out with a bang. Our guest tonight's an independent film producer you might have seen last night on News Edge. His fireworks special and documentary airing on PBS all weekend this weekend. It's Mark Antonori here. Welcome to the Lightning Round.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. A veteran of local news as well.
I've been around it for a while.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you back.
On the other side, not on this side of the camera.
Well, we're glad to have you on this side, too. How about the Rays? I know you've been around for a long time. Rays are the best team in baseball. They really are starting to get the national attention. Our fans are really starting to get some attention. And it seems like now some of the other teams are starting to talk. Some of them are giving them respect. Maybe not all the Red Sox are giving them the respect. No. It's going to be a couple more months before we get that, don't you think?
Yeah, it's been an incredible series. I mean, sweeping them in this last series, that was in last night's game. I thought for sure that they were just, they're behind. They're never going to come back. And there you go. That's what makes it fun to watch.
I heard people say earlier with some of the comments that were online on our webpage, and then also some people on the radio calling and saying, I've been to Bucks playoff games, and last night at the Trop was more exciting and more energy. And I think a lot of it is because of the players seeing that youthful exuberance in the players' face. The players are really enjoying themselves, too.
You know, you are dead on with that comment, because actually what happens in a football season is you might have 8 home games, you get 16 total. You can feed off that for a little bit. But just because of the length of the baseball season, if you get a team like the Rays who have done nothing but wins, that'll carry a community for a long time, because one month rolls right into the next one.
How about this YouTube crime of the day? If you haven't seen this, you may not want to see it. A 16-year-old in Georgia babysitting with his friend an 8-month-old baby. Watch what they do. This is a real baby. The teen that actually jumped down on the pillow has been charged. They're thinking about maybe charging the teen who videotaped it.
Should.
You know, I mean, should we? We're back again to the whole YouTube phenomenon, you know, because kids are, does it make it worse that they videotaped it and put it up on the internet? I kind of think it does, because maybe it gave them reason to show some other kids.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, you know, think about the things we did when we were kids. If we videotaped that and showed it to everyone, we'd all be in trouble.
We wouldn't be here either.
We wouldn't be in trouble. So it's not a good idea to videotape
people being kind
things.
of proud of something like that, you know, that's what I don't understand, you know, how they can not separate reality from something that they think is...
Well, it's all blurring, too. I mean, that's the problem. Reality is now what they see, and if there wasn't a YouTube, they probably wouldn't have done this in the first place. You know, if there wasn't something to put on video, then that throttles back, and you just end up doing most of the stupid stuff we did as kids. But they now have taken it to a whole nother level. This isn't beyond a stunt. I mean, this is actually breaking the law and just being completely clueless.
It's almost like you're trying to top the last guy who did it. You know, you see, I've seen
he
that.
is charged as an adult, even though he's 16. He certainly did an adult crime. How about with fireworks displays being set up all across the nation? We want to talk about your documentary, too. But in Indianapolis, the organizers of the city's event, he died in February. He wants to go out with a bang, so he's going out with them tomorrow night. You heard anything like that on all your fireworks travels?
It reminded me of Hunter S. Thompson dying a few years ago, and he wanted to have his cremains shot up into space. And I think he got Johnny Depp to put together a rocket crew, and they shot him off into space. But I'm afraid that some of these people might get rained on with toxic cremains in Indianapolis. I don't know if I want to be under
Pick out his music for it, too? What his favorite song?
Well, I have to call my lawyer and get that.
Well, yeah. 321 Fireworks. It airs this weekend, a weekend on PBS, right?
Exactly. Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock on WUSF, and then it runs throughout the weekend in some other outlets, PBS outlets around.
And what's the most important thing, most interesting thing you learned from shooting that?
I thought it was most interesting how they put those pattern shells together. You see the smiley faces and the stars. They just lay them out into the shell, in the shape of the shell, and when it explodes, it just keeps that shape as it explodes. It's very simple. It seems like it's very complex. They also have 3-dimensional cubes. When I was there 2 years ago, 3-dimensional cubes that go up. It's a 6-sided cube. It looks like those little cubes you draw. It goes up in the air, and it's a 3-dimensional thing. So they're moving more into 3-dimensional shapes and patterns and that sort of thing. It's the technology keeps advancing, even though it's thousands of years old.
And it's made by hand, too. You know?
Yeah, everything's made by hand.
Oh, cool.
Very interesting. 321 Fireworks on PBS this weekend. Mark Antonori, thanks for coming by.
Had a great time.
Chip's next.
Next TMZ.